Hey guys, you're welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. In my last tutorial, we drafted a pattern for this 3-part corset top, and in this video we are going to be joining our patterns together. So these are all my pattern. I already used my pattern paper to cut out my fabric, and I added 0.5 inches allowance to all the sides. So this is number one pattern for the cup, and I cut out 2 pieces for it. And for number 2 and 3, I also went ahead to cut out 2 pieces. Please notch around the middle part, notch number 2 together, notch number 3 together, so that you know which goes where. And it is very important to use your pattern paper to know the difference between number 2 and number 3. I'm going to place one number 2 on one number 3. So this is number 2 and number 3 that I'm pinning together. I'll also repeat the same part for the other side. So please notch around the area so that you know which one to pin. If you don't pin it well, your cup will not come out well. It's going to be flat. As you can see, I have sewn, and you see that it's taking shape because this is number 2 and number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my number 1, which is the upper part of the cup, and I also notched the down part so that I'll know where is the down and where is the upper part of number 1. So I'm going to place it like this. So just notch. It is important to use your pattern paper so that you not make a mistake. If you don't sew it well, your cup is going to come out flat and there won't be space for your bust to sit by the time you are done. So I'll pin around like this, and then I'll go and sew. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. And if your cup is not looking like this, then you have made a mistake somewhere. So please use your pattern paper to know which to pin together. So I'll go ahead and work on my center front and my side front. So my center front is just 1 piece and my side front is 2 pieces. So I'll place my side front just like this to my center front. I'll pin right side facing each other for both the 2 side fronts, and I'll go sew on a straight line. After sewing, this is what I have. So I'll bring back my cup and I'll use my pattern paper to know where number 2 is. Number 2 is smaller than number 3. So this is number 2, and when pinning, I'll make sure that number 2 is towards my center front and number 3 is towards the armhole area. I'll go ahead and I'll pin my cup all the way around like this. So make sure you take your time to do this. If you take your time to really pin your cup in place, you will see that there won't be any excess left at the upper part, just like what you are seeing. So take your time to do this properly so that your cup will come out well. After pinning, I'll go ahead and sew all the way around. I've done that, and you can see the way my cup is. There is space for my bust to sit. If yours is not looking like this, please use your pattern paper to know where the error is coming from. So for this tutorial, I don't have a ready-made cup to use, so I'll be using my breast pad to cut out my cup like this. So I'm using my pattern paper. So I'll trace out what I have on my pattern paper, and please add seam allowance to it. I did not add seam allowance to mine and it became small, so add seam allowance to it the same way we did for the fabric. I'll just join everything together same way that I did for my fabric, placing number 2 on number 3 and then number 1, and then that's what I'm going to use for my cup. After sewing my cup, this is what I have. So I'll place the cup inside the fabric like this, and I'll pin it all around. I'll do the same thing for the other cup. After pinning, I'll take it to my machine and I'll hold it down like this all the way around. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side of the cup. So the next thing I'll do is to create my boning casing. So I'll figure out where I want to place my boning. I want one at the middle. I'll be using my bias to create the boning casing. So I'll rule a straight line on the middle part. That way I'll know where to sew my bias and underneath my cup. So I'll just sew 2 straight lines on the bias and I'm done with my boning casing. So for the back piece, I folded my dart inside. Remember I said I'll be adding a loop to this top, so I don't need all these parts. So all together I folded 4 inches in and I went ahead to cut out 2 pieces. So this is what it looks like. I'll bring back my front piece and then I'll place the back piece on it, right side facing each other, and then I'll go sew on a straight line. I've gone ahead to attach the back piece to the front piece. So I'm going to go inward like this on the back piece by 1 inch, and from that 1 inch I'll also create another boning casing for the back. I'll repeat the same thing for the other parts of the back piece and then I'll go sew my casing in place. So after sewing my boning casing, this is what I have. This is the boning I'll be using, so I'll fix my boning in my boning casing. Sew your boning casing in place before you sew your cup. So I had to lose my cup in order to sew my boning casing. So after inserting my boning casing, this is what I have. So this is the strap I'm going to be using and the length is 13 inches. I measured myself and what I need is 13 inches. So I'll measure around my cup and whatever I have, I'll divide it by 2 and I will indicate it. So I'll do the same thing for the other cup, and then I'll take the strap, I'll place it on the middle point of the cup and then I'll pin it down. I'll repeat the same thing for the other cup. And on the other end, which is the back part, I'll also measure around it, and whatever I have, I'll take the middle point also and I'll pin the other end of the strap there. I'll also repeat the same thing for the other end. After pinning, I'll bring in my lining. I've already sewn my lining same way that I sewed my fabric. So I'll place my fabric and my lining together like this and I'll pin the upper part just like you see me doing, and I'll go sew. After sewing, I'll go ahead and trim the excess fabric and then I'll notch around that area and then I'll turn it inside out. So this is what I have. I'll turn it over in order for me to close the base of the top just like this, and then I'll pin it all the way around and I'll go sew also on the straight line. After sewing, I'll go ahead and I'll turn it inside out. The next thing I'll do is to cut out my loops. So I'll bring the back part of my top like this and I'll measure what I have. And what I have is 8 inches. So the distance between one loop to the other one is 1.5 inches. I'll use my chalk to indicate that so that it will be visible for me to sew. And then I'll cut out my loop. The length of my loop is 1.5 inches and I'll cut out as many as I want. So I'll fold in 0.5 inch from the 1 inch that we left at the back part, and I'll insert my loop in it. I'll use my pin to hold it down. I'll keep doing that and inserting my loops. I'll use my pin to hold it down till I get to the end. After doing that, I'll just go ahead and sew on a straight line, and I'll repeat the same step for the other part. After sewing my loop in place, this is what it looks like. Everything is all nice and clean. So the last thing I'll do is to lace my loop, and that will be all for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I hope you are able to learn something from this video. Please don't forget to like it, leave a comment down below in the comment section, subscribe to my channel if you have not, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.